Welcome to the news. It's gonna be where we start the episode. And we are rolling, sir. Mikey B, what do we got in the news this week?
Okay, first news topic. Ratchet and Clank release date, June 11th. It's pretty big because this will be the third exclusive that Sony is dropping in 2021. Last week for free if you're a PlayStation Plus member, they dropped Destruction All Stars, which is kind of like an audio combat game similar to like a Twisted Metal or a Vigilante 8.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's called Destruction All Stars. It's supposed to be like
Oh, yeah. I know.
Destruction
Okay.
also, yeah, like I'm trying to I'm trying to think of the sport.
It just like
The
it's just
derby, the derby race things that
it
truck
is.
racing.
Yep.
Yeah, just I can't remember the current name, but it's supposed to be like that or like Twisted Metal, Vigilante, stuff like that.
It's like a monster truck rally
Thank
sort
you,
of thing. Just
thank you.
blow
That's what I was
everything
trying
up.
to get at. Yep. So
Cool.
that's for free for your PlayStation Plus member. Then in May, the Bethesda's Deathloop is coming. That's their PlayStation 5 exclusive for 1 year. So that is the like assassin versus the assassin game where like you control time. So and then a month later is the much more family friendly game of Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, and that is coming out June 11th. So yeah, three big exclusives. And I know, how do you feel about Ratchet and Clank? Are you excited? Is this the game that will compel you to buy the PlayStation 5 now that you own the Xbox One?
No way, dude.
Okay.
No way. Look, I'm happy for it getting ready to release.
Mm-hmm.
But also, how many of us raise your hand if you don't have a PlayStation yet? PS5. I have it yet. So it's like I can't really enjoy the games, you know what I mean, that are coming out until we get the console, which is like it's fine and all. Like I don't want to waste the money to play it on PS4. Like to me, there's no reason to do that at this point. So I'd be happier if I did
Sure.
have a PS5, but I guess we're just gonna
Yeah.
keep waiting and
Yeah.
then keep going. But no, the game for me for the PlayStation was Miles.
Miles.
Once they
True.
said that, I was on board just because I
Mm-hmm.
played the Spider-Man game and I loved it, and the mechanics were pretty similar. It's just a whole new story, so that was pretty much what sold me. But what would sell me even more, and like I think would make my pursuit for a PS5 like take it up a notch, is if they said there's a new Twisted Metal. Since you brought that up just now, if they
Sure.
said there's a PS5 Twisted Metal, I'm out. I'm going. I'm gonna find every kind of like forum, check Reddit, and do whatever I can to get me a PS5 for that because that would be dope. So, but yeah, Ratchet and Clank. I mean, as far as that game goes, like the game looks fun. It looks
Mm-hmm.
cool, and like obviously the power of the PS5 to be able to jump, into the rifts or whatever, and go into different sections and like time warp or whatever. That looks dope.
Gotcha.
Do that.
Sure.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited. I was a big fan of Ratchet and Clank for PS4,
Yeah.
and yeah, this like these games are like they're the PlayStation 5 like, hey, this is exclusive, this is made for PlayStation 5 or optimized for PlayStation 5, whatever you want to say. It's starting to build because like you mentioned, we have Miles. That's cool. We have this free game. Okay, that's fine. A free game is always good,
Yeah.
could be bad, but it's free. That's fine. When you buy it, it comes with Astrobot, which is another free game. So two free games from the jump. You don't have to pay for. That's kind of cool. And then Ratchet and Clank is coming, and then you hope another big fall title could be the new God of War, could be Horizon Zero Dawn. So like PlayStation 5 is starting to build like 3 or 4 or 5 exclusive titles that you only could play in PlayStation 5, which would then make the purchase of a PlayStation 5 a little bit more understandable for me. Like
Yeah.
in this, I'm also like, and in this world, I'm also saying it's easy to buy a play, like actually grab a PlayStation 5, and currently it's pretty tough to grab a PlayStation 5 or Xbox. But I'm hoping towards the end of the year it'll become easier, and you can kind of stack those 5 kind of exclusive games off for PlayStation 5 versus what Xbox has, and then it's back to the classic debate we've been having since the jump from this podcast is like, a super nice dinner versus the buffet.
Yeah,
Some
man.
nights, And some nights the buffet is, top notch, and like, hey, this is gonna hit the spot. And sometimes you want to treat yourself to a nice steak dinner.
Yeah, definitely. The problem with that is like I'm all for waiting and that's fine, but I wonder if games are gonna get lost. So now that
Mm.
you kind of were talking about this, the first thing that came to mind when you're like, oh, if it comes out in the fall, and I was like, whatever happened to Godfall? You know what I mean? Like that game was like a PS5 exclusive, and
It did
you
come.
know
I think it did come out. And
it
it,
did, it did. But like the point I was trying to get to that it gets forgotten.
mm,
So like
true.
let's say if we're getting into October, November,
Hmm.
do we forget about Miles? Do we forget about Ratchet and Clank? Do we, is it going to be worth it in the long run? So it's
Hmm.
just like, okay, we're trying to, release all these games, but I wonder like how many people still don't have it and can't really, enjoy it. So it just
True.
it's another reason why like I kind of want to get it now so I don't forget. But at the same time, like I know they'll have like better games, so it's like you can create your backlog now, I guess, but until you get that PS5, you're really not doing anything. So we're
True.
all waiting.
That's correct. And speaking of consoles that we actually could purchase very soon, is the new Nintendo Switch. Well, it's a new cosmetic model. It's not like the new Pro or anything, but it's the new Switch that is neon blue and neon red to celebrate Mario and the release of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and it is dropping based on Amazon. It is dropping. Oh, it's available right now. So I just could click and add to cart, and
Purchase.
I got myself a second Switch for no apparent reason. But if I wanted to, yeah, Mario Red and Blue Edition is readily available on Amazon, no problem. How do you feel about custom consoles like this? Were you ever intrigued to buy a console that was cosmetically altered to celebrate a game like a Mario or a Sonic or a Halo or a GTA or whatever game franchise you're a fan of? Have you ever been enticed to purchase a console that's based on how it looks?
Yeah, a Halo model for sure. There's just something about like an army green Halo Xbox that I think did come out, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like for PlayStation, Xbox, like I love black. Well, obviously, like the consoles are like the majority of them are black anyway. But like the PS4 being white is like, would I like to have it in black? Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Now I love all black consoles, but I would love this red and blue Switch. There's just something so cool about it. It's just like it's made because I guess when I think about the Switch as like a little more fun, like family friendly, like
Mm-hmm.
console, like yeah, I could do colors. You know what I mean? Like the Joy Cons that come with it are some of them are in colors already, so it's like you're getting a little touch on it, but you don't get a lot. But this is dope. I would buy it. But see, Nintendo's good at that, man. Like, how long has it been out? And like, they have like the Animal Crossing one. That bundle like blew up and sold out ASAP. And you want to have a, you know, not if you. I mean, if you really care about it, you'll go get it and trade the other one in. But I don't know, man. It seems like a lot of work just for a different colored Switch. But I like it. I like it. I would buy it. What do you think?
Same boat. I think it's if there was some sort of it's like some sort of
Trade
I don't know,
in.
like thank you. That was the
Yeah.
word I was looking for. Like trade-in program. Like I traded my classic, gray Switch, and it only cost me like $100 to get this new one. I'm like, all right, I know for a cosmetic. Plus, this new version does have better battery life if you play your Switch outside. I think it now goes to close to like 4.5 hours, and I think the current Switch only gives you about 3 hours of battery life outside of the dock.
Hmm.
So you're getting better battery life. You're getting like a cool kind of custom Switch. I could see that for a hundo. That doesn't seem, totally outrageous.
Definitely. I don't know if you have this in yours, but this is another piece of news that I just remembered right now.
Hmm?
Crash 4 is getting a console update, so I will be purchasing that on Xbox.
Very
So
nice.
I think it's this month. I think it's this month or in March that it's getting its Xbox Series X, S, and PS5 update.
And
So
that's very cool. And on a smaller note, it's also coming to the Switch.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yep.
So yeah, so I'll be able to play it. So it's coming to the
Yeah.
Switch, and I think maybe in April, so a month after the optimization update for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Yeah, it's coming to the Switch. So that was very exciting news for Crash 4 fans. That was definitely a game that I wanted to play, but I don't have the console that plays it. So I'm excited that in April I'll be able to play that one.
I wonder if like for it's a live podcast, we know how it goes around here, but is that game cross platform or not? Yeah, cross platform to where like you could play on all of them. Like I could play with you.
Ooh, interesting. That's some information. Well, it's a live podcast. We would have to look that one up.
Yeah, I see it like I'm on their website, but I
Okay,
don't think they have anything up there yet about that. But maybe that's gonna get a cross platform. Maybe.
that'd be cool.
Yes, so the PS5 version and everything else is March 12th. So
Cool.
stay tuned and we'll talk about that later.
Very nice. And I guess this is the last bit of news. It happened the last week or two, but I think it's something we should touch on just briefly for a bit. Is that Stadia, which is a service that you know probably hasn't hit as high as people might have hoped. But some sad news for Stadia that Stadia, beyond being able to play like a Madden or Fallen Order or the new Borderlands 3, they were gonna make exclusive games for Stadia from their first party studios. They shut down their first party studio, so that's not gonna happen anymore. And so now it makes Stadia a little less enticing, which because kind of I think having exclusives is a key to any console or any service. Having something that you only could play exclusively at a console or a service kind of entices you to buy that service or console. So without that, I do not really know where Stadia stands as an online service, especially with Game Pass being available, being starting to be available pretty much on any device that you own. You could be able to play Game Pass. I feel that Game Pass. I'm sorry, that I feel that Stadia will become the next casualty in the many casualties that Google has pulled the plug on. So start the clock within the next 2 years. Stadia will be no more.
That sucks, man. Like
It does. That's
it
a cool
just
idea.
it was really nice to hear that they were going to get their exclusives, which would obviously open them up as like a competitor during all of this, but it's not doing the way they didn't want it to. They couldn't get it to perform the way they wanted it to, and it kind of reminds me of like their Google glasses, where it's like a really cool idea and it just tanks. So I just wonder what it is that made them pull the trigger, because even if you not that you didn't give yourself a chance, but like there must have been something where it's like, okay, we're like dramatically not seeing our users, so it's like there's no point. So moment of silence for the game devs who were trying to put something together over at Google. And but see, here's the thing: like, I feel like it'll come back in a couple years. So even if it will kind of fade away, they will not. I don't want to say they'll make their own console, but I feel like they'll find a way to come back. Just because, like, I feel like the technology, like maybe they're ahead of themselves, like how they were with the Google glasses too. So
True, very true.
who knows? Hopefully they'll come back because you hate to see it, but it's just trying to compete against, like you said, the buffet, aka the Game Pass, and the steak dinner and the PlayStation Network. So it's a damn shame.
And on that sad note, that's the news for the week.
That's the news for the week, y'all. See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Gaming Console Podcast. Now, if you're not with us on the social game, you really missing out. On Instagram, follow us at the Gaming Console Podcast. Facebook is the Gaming Console Podcast. Also, follow us on Twitter. We're the Console Boys on Twitter, so hit us up, tweet us. Everything podcast related episode wise, go to gamingconsolepod.com.
The Council Boys in the building tonight. Oh, what a feeling. I'm feeling life.
Console Boys are out.